What are some of the archetypes in YA novels, not just of the protagonist, which I hear is somehow she's the special girl.
Yes.
For some reason, and she's different from all the others and has some type of a special
skill
power.
or power. Yeah, so there are a lot of tropes that you'll see in YA, for better or worse. And yes, one of them is what you were just describing, which is that they're special in some way. They have some special gift or ability, or sometimes you see that they live in a world where everyone else has abilities and they're the ones that don't. But there is usually something that makes them stand out in their world in some capacity. And you see that a little bit more in the sci-fi fantasy genre of YA. But yes, that's a classic trope. The love triangle is another one. And I always think that people say, oh, this is young adult. I'm like, yeah, but it's also like classic, like storytelling, like these stories. Romeo and Juliet, you see that 400 million times. Romeo and Juliet has been told and retold and probably was taken from something even before Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. So I think you see these things repeat a lot. Romeo and Juliet does pop up a lot in YA, right? Star-crossed lovers, right? Twilight is basically Romeo and Juliet with vampires. There's a book called I think it's called Warm Bodies. That is Romeo and Juliet with zombies, and it was made into a film as well. So you see a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of times you'll also see, so these are coming of age stories, so usually they're being oppressed in some way. It could be by parents or adults that rule the world. It could be by some greater antagonist. But usually they're fighting the system, or they're fighting against something about their world that isn't fair.
Let's talk about other archetypes. So you have sort of the jock,
the
hot jock who maybe seems like the dream guy, but then you have like the loner guy that she's not supposed to be with because her friends don't approve, but she really likes. The frenemy, the nerdy girl that's the sidekick. Can we talk about some of the archetypes?
Yeah, that's pretty typical. I mean, the nerdy girl, Hermione from Harry Potter is your classic version of that. I think in terms of the jock and the nerdy guy, you definitely still see that. The Netflix show Stranger Things, which was really fantastic, 100% does that. But they do a few things to subvert some of that, where, I think it's interesting to do turns with some of those jockey characters where maybe they see the light, come around a little. And those stories, the high school, the hierarchy of school, that's going to be very prevalent across all these books, including the ones that aren't even in our world, like, even things like Harry Potter, which I know skewed younger to start, but moved into YA territory, or even things like Twilight. There's always the high school element and the hierarchy of the society. So, you see all of that as well, But I think it's kind of fun to read those things. And again, they're coming from somewhere, which is the real world. Like if we've all been to high school, like I feel like we've all had these experiences.
Right, so it sounds like there's either the decision to leave the group or the decision to join the group, and will they accept them? It's either reverse in one of those two ways. And is an adult always an oppressor?
No, not always. Usually they'll be, you'll usually have also characters that are like, nice, good adult characters, or at least I always try to write them into my book. And one of the things that I did in my series is that I did give point of views to adult characters. And that was actually one of the things that also I think made the book a challenge right off the bat to sell, even though we found a great publisher and I did get a great book deal out of it. But in the beginning, I got feedback like, you have adult points of view in this book. Like, how is this YA? And I'm like, well, the main characters are teens. But yes, there are adults that live in this world. And I wanted to show also some of that perspective. And some of the adults are the antagonists. In the case of the first book, it's the leader of the religious contingent who kind of governs their world, gets some chapters where we get to see sort of their thought process and what's happening on their end of the story. And then otherwise we're going between Myra, who is a 16-year-old engineering apprentice in the underwater world, and a outer space colony where our main character is Arrow, who is a 16-year-old soldier, and they're a military society. And so the story is told back and forth between them. And then as the book series progresses, my second book comes out in November, the story opens up a lot and we add more points of view. So we start to track more characters, and some of those are adults. We pick up an underwater character who is an adult character, and he carries through. So I think it's fun to write a variety of different perspectives. But no, some of the adult characters are always, I hope, going to be positive too, But you will say young adult, it is mostly focused on the kids, and it is going to be mostly focused on the teen characters.